The courtyard hadn't fully settled from the last fight. Dust still lingered in the air, drifting through the space between recruits like something that refused to leave. The tension hadn't dropped either. If anything, it sharpened. Every match now meant something more. Exposure, judgment, placement. And now, two figures stood at the center. Winta Solen, Pex, already facing each other, already ready. Winta cracked his neck slightly, rolling his shoulders like he was about to step into something casual instead of a fight that could define his standing. Across from him, Pex stood still. No wasted movement. No expression. Watching. Always watching. At the edge of the courtyard, Captain Rick stood with arms folded, silent as ever. His presence alone kept the entire space locked in focus. No one spoke. But Winta did. Internally. Of all people, his eyes flicked over Pex again. Yeah, this is the worst matchup possible. Then his gaze drifted briefly, just enough to the crowd behind her. But also, there are way too many fine girls watching right now. A pause. No way I'm backing down looking weak, he smirked slightly. Yeah, I gotta at least look cool. Pex didn't move, didn't react, didn't care. Rick's voice cut through the silence. Begin. Winta moved first. Fast. A sharp burst of wind kicked off his step, pushing him forward with sudden acceleration. He swung wide, not aiming to hit but to test. Pex shifted. Barely. She stepped inside the motion, her arm redirecting his strike before it fully formed. Not brute force. Precision. Winta blinked. Okay, he pivoted immediately. Another strike, sharper this time, followed by a quick faint low. Pex didn't bite. She adjusted before the feint even finished. Her hands snapped up, stopping his follow-through clean. Winta pulled back, eyes narrowing now. She's reading me. He stepped again, faster this time, layering movement with wind bursts, switching rhythm mid-combo. Strike, pause, strike, fake. Nothing landed. Pex moved through it all like she'd already seen it, not reacting, knowing. From the sidelines, murmurs started. How is she doing that? Marno whispered. That's not reaction speed, someone muttered. That's prediction. Mira's eyes stayed locked on the fight, analyzing, breaking it down. Winta backed off for a second, exhaling. Nah, he muttered under his breath. You cheating or something? Pex tilted her head slightly. No. Then she moved. Fast, not flashy, efficient. Her step closed the distance instantly. A clean strike aimed at his center forced Winta to guard late, impact snapping through his arms and pushing him back. He slid a step. Then another. Yeah, she's different. He tried again, this time throwing in something less predictable, mixing erratic movement with wind-assisted bursts. For a moment, it almost worked. Then Pex adjusted again. Her counter came sharper this time. Cleaner. Winta felt it. Not overwhelming force, just control. Every exchange ended the same way. Him adapting, her already there. Cut away. Inside the Empire base, far from the courtyard, Rakuto stood in a narrow corridor holding a stack of files he clearly had no interest in. You've got to be kidding me, he muttered. Task 1. Sorting and delivering classified intel packets across departments. Not a fight. Not training. Paperwork. He exhaled sharply, adjusting the stack as he stepped into a dimly lit room. That's when he saw her. A woman leaned against a desk, flipping through documents like she'd already read them twice. Calm. Sharp. Observant. Without looking up, she spoke. You're new. Rakuto didn't answer immediately. She glanced up, eyes locking onto him, and immediately catching the mark on his cheek. Not reacting, just noting it. Syndicate liaison, she said, closing the file. Mhey Devor. A beat. I handle criminal networks, infiltration routes, black market intel, she added casually, and occasionally patch up the messes those things create. Rakuto shifted the files slightly. You a doctor or something? Something like that. Her gaze stayed on him a second longer than normal. Not judgmental, just aware. You're the one they brought back, she said. Not a question. Rakuto didn't confirm it, didn't deny it either. Guess word travels fast. It has to, she replied. In my line of work, being late means being dead. A pause settled between them. Then, you don't look like someone who should still be standing, she added. Rakuto smirked faintly. Yeah, I've been getting that a lot. She stepped closer, not invading space, just enough to observe. Whatever kept you alive, she said quietly, it wasn't clean. That made him pause, just slightly, but she caught it. Of course she did. Be careful, she added. Things that save you like that tend to take something back later. Rakuto didn't respond, didn't need to. He just set the files down, task still unfinished. But something about that conversation lingered. Cut back. The courtyard. The fight hadn't improved for Winta. If anything, it got worse. He tried one more sequence, fast, flashy, built to impress. Wind spiraled around his movement, boosting his speed as he launched forward. Peck stepped once. That was all it took. Her counter stopped him cold. A clean, controlled strike that knocked the momentum right out of him. He stumbled back, caught himself, stared at her, breathing heavier now. Yeah, he said, raising his hands slightly. I'm not winning this. Silence. Then he dropped his stance dramatically. I forfeit, he koshed loudly, stepping back like he just made a heroic decision. A few recruits blinked. Some groaned. Marno looked confused. That's it? Winta shrugged. Hey, I know when I'm outclassed, and I still look good doing it. Pex didn't react, didn't celebrate, didn't acknowledge it. She just stepped back, fight over unharmed. From the sidelines, Kyra glanced toward Mira. She didn't even try, Kyra said quietly. Mira didn't look away from Pex. No, she replied. Kyra's eyes narrowed slightly. What do you mean? A brief pause. Then Mira exhaled. She has an ability, she said. She just didn't use it. Kyra turned slightly. What ability? Mira hesitated. Then, we're from the same district, she said instead. Stoneshire. That was enough to shift the weight of the conversation. One of the elemental capitals. Meaning, Pex wasn't just skilled, she was something else entirely. Captain Rick stepped forward slightly. No wasted motion, no reaction to the outcome, just continuation. Next match, he said. The courtyard tightened again, eyes lifted, names mattered. Kyra Mitsu, a pause. Mira Narakisho. Silence dropped heavier this time. Different kind of tension. Not chaos, not curiosity. Something sharper. More personal. Kyra exhaled slowly. Mira adjusted her stance, neither smiled, neither spoke. They just stepped forward, and the courtyard prepared for something very different.
I start from here, I catch up with you. I don't do back on a myself anymore. I start from here, I catch